Hey guys, what is going on? Anthony here with Pistons Talk. Hope you guys are having a great night so far. What I wanted to do in this video was react to this latest 2024 NBA mock draft from Yahoo Sport. This was written by Kristen Peak. Funny enough, I actually tried to get her on the podcast, but she is just so busy. Most of these draft analysts, this is like their Super Bowl right now. Like, it's so hard to book them to get them on the podcast. But we're going to be reacting to her mock, and I'm going to go down to the fifth pick because this is a player that I've mentioned before if the Pistons possibly want to trade down, and it sounds like his draft stock as we get closer to the NBA draft is rising. He may crack the top 10, which I thought he was more of a late lottery pick, now possibly a top 10. So let's react to this mock from Kristen Peak of Yahoo Sports. So I just want to skim through the first four picks because I know there's going to be someone in the comments saying like, hey, who were the first four picks before the Pistons were on the clock? So let's just go through these real quick. You got Zachary Ricochet going to the Hawks. That's kind of been the consensus, it seems like, in most of these mocks. Number 2, you have the Washington Wizards selecting Alex Sarr. Again, I've seen Sarr 1 and 2 in the various mock drafts that we've reacted to on this channel. Number 3, Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle's kind of all over the place. You've seen him as high as 3. I've seen him as low as 7. He's kind of all over the place, but to the Houston Rockets. Now, that's if Houston actually wants to keep the pick. I mean, there have been reports that they may trade their pick for Mikal Bridges to the Brooklyn Nets, so we're going to have to wait and see if that does actually happen. Number 4, San Antonio Spurs are selecting Reed Sheppard in this mock, which I think Reed Sheppard's going to be a phenomenal player, really good shooter. I think it would be a really good fit in San Antonio, him playing with Wemby. But I'm not going to, get into analysis with the Spurs, right? You're here for the Pistons. And in this mock, they have the Detroit Pistons selecting Tidjane Salaun out of Cholet France. He's 6'9", 203 pounds. He plays the guard position and the forward position. And this is the little player profile that they had on Tidjane Salaun. Salaun could end up going as high as number 4 to the Spurs with how well he played during the LNB Pro A playoff for Cholet. He remains a sleeper top 5 pick, but showed his vast potential as an NBA wing when he scored 19 points, added 8 rebounds, and 3 assists against Paris basketball in a game that was even more impressive than his stat line. Now, I've talked to you guys about Tidjane Salaun in the podcast. I've always felt that he was a player that the Pistons could possibly trade down. Now, obviously, his draft stock has risen since the podcast last week and various podcasts that I've mentioned him over the past month or so. And that's to be expected the closer we get to the NBA draft. I believe the draft's on the 27th and 28th, and it's the 6th as I'm recording this video. Now, Tidjane Salaun is a top 5 pick. I think some Pistons fans, when they see a French prospect going top 5, they get a little PTSD, and I can understand why. You look at guys like a Sekou Doumbouya, you look at guys like Killian Hayes. Our track record with French players is not the best, so I could understand some skepticism from Pistons fans when we're talking about the Detroit Pistons possibly selecting Tidjane Salaun as high as 5, right? And it probably doesn't help that a lot of fan favorite, you got Modest Buzelis right there at number 6 to the Charlotte Hornets, and then if you scroll down this mock, Cody Williams is like around that 9 to 10 range. So I think this is very interesting. And what I wanted to do in today's video also is I'm going to pull up some Tidjane Salaun highlights and we can watch what's there. Maybe we could see why the Pistons are interested in Tidjane Salaun because I want us to hold judgment before we actually see this guy play. I think we just see the France and we're like, yeah, Sekou and Killian really worked out well. But let's go over and watch some Tidjane Salaun highlights and kind of see maybe what the Pistons would be thinking selecting a guy like him as high as 5 in this upcoming draft. Let's get into these Tidjane Salaun highlights, you guys. Let's get into it. So, let's see. Okay. Good backdoor cut. It's got some hops to him. Playing the passing lanes. I like it. It's kind of bouncy and athletic. Let's see. See, he's actually a pretty good cutter, which I think if you're a non-shooter, you have to be a good cutter in the NBA. Lob threat, too. Okay, he can shoot. The jump shot's a little funky. I will say that. Jump shot's kind of unconventional. But hey, man, if it goes in like that, I guess you really can't argue with the results. Again, like I'm seeing the cutting. I really like that. It kind of reminds you of, not saying they're the same type of cutter, but if you guys remember Hamidou Diallo from a few years ago, Hamidou was like a really, really good cutter for the Pistons. I can kind of see where the Pistons are coming from if they think Salaun is a guy that could go as high as 5. Um, let's see. Yeah, the jump shot, it's so weird, but man, they're going in these highlights. Obviously, they're not gonna clip highlights of him just clunking or bricking it, but I do really like the ability to cut. I like the ability to play the passing lanes. Hitting open 3-point shots I think will be really crucial for him. And he can take it to the basket a little bit. That's something that I was kind of interested with, is can he put the ball on the floor and ooh, okay, a little cross and a 3. I can kind of see where the Pistons are coming from. Honestly, the more I watch Salaun, I can kind of see what the Pistons' vision is for him. I think he would be a really unique player next to Asar. If you want to kind of put those guys next to each other, or have Salaun off the bench and Asar starting. But I know a lot of you guys are very high on Cody Williams, Dalton Connect, Modest Bizelis. I know there's a Klingon, for example. There's a lot of players that the Pistons could possibly draft with the 5th overall pick. But let me know what you guys think of this mock draft for the Detroit Pistons selecting Tidjane Salaun. Are you a fan of his? Are you not? Do you want the Pistons just to stay away from French players altogether? Talk to me down below in the comment section and let me know what you think. Like always, I hope you guys are staying safe. Take care, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.